She's serious. It's time to stop dreaming and start living. Live your dreams. Embrace every culture, every background, every perspective. Are you ready to stop talking about the life you want and start taking action? She's Serious is a movement for women from all cultures and backgrounds who are done playing small and ready to take control of their financial future, their freedom, and their legacy. It's time to invest in you and turn your dreams into reality. As a travel business owner, you have the potential to generate up to 8 streams of income, own your own home-based business, and live life on your own terms. Whether you want to travel the world, create a flexible lifestyle, or secure a future for your family, She's Serious is your path to making it happen. Why join multiple streams of income? Earn while building a business you're passionate about. Travel opportunities, unlock exclusive travel experiences, financial freedom, break free from the 9-to-5 grind and live on your own terms. Create a legacy. Leave something valuable behind for the next generation. Take the next step. Join She's Serious and start living the life you've always dreamed of, no matter your background or culture. It's time to get serious about your future. Unleash your potential and build your legacy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. You know, it's your girl, Janae, also known as the Travel Vet, and I'm super duper excited today. You guys know we said we were going to kick off last week with our series of Real Talk with Real Women Grinding and just getting some phenomenal interviews from women who are making moves in the industry of travel and at the same time helping others to do the same. So today, you guys, I am super duper honored to introduce an individual who has, what I like to say, not only is she a remarkable leader whose journey reflects, you know, her extraordinary accomplishments, but she has discipline out. Define discipline. If looking by the definition of discipline, you'll see this young lady's name. I'm just telling you, she has that vision. And when I tell you she is a pioneer, what we like to say, a founder of our organization, which means she's a 3-star director. She started out when there was no evidence at all, period. Now imagine starting a company where there's nothing. There's no PowerPoint presentations. There's no IT department as of yet. They were the IT department. They were the HR. They were everything. And she was one of 100 to actually get it all started. And now she's a 3-star director. And what that means is she has helped over, let me tell you, you guys, let me bring out this number, over 500 families, right? Out of 70,000 representatives in our organization. That's a lot. She's one of the top income earners. And when I tell you, when she made this decision to start this journey, she was still working full time. This was a part-time thing for her because she worked a full-time demanding state job, right? But let me tell you the glory to that story. She got to retire. Well, let's say she retired and gave that job back to the state government 10 years earlier than what she was originally supposed to. And when y'all see her, just understand she's not 25. Yep, she has done her thing. But that's something that's remarkable. Not only has she done that, she was on her way to making 6 figures. She made 6 figures on her full-time job. And then she started making 6 figures on her part-time. Isn't that amazing? But it gets better. When you're able to make 6 figures, that's meaning linear. That means you show up, you clock in, clock out, or you're on salary, whichever one. That's one thing. You have to show up for your 6 figures. When you make 6 figures residually, that means she did something one time and it keeps paying her over and over and over again. Now she's at that point of that discipline. I told y'all, looking at the dictionary, you'll see her name, where she was able to save 6 figures, right? So let me move myself out of the way because I definitely don't want to steal her thunder and tell any more of her glory. I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others, none other than 3-star director, Ms. Melodie Washington. Hello.
Hello there, Miss Janae. How are you doing today?
I am fabulous, fantastic, and simply amazing, my love. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I am absolutely stunning today. Thank you so much for allowing me to share your platform this morning. I know you said she's serious, but guess what? You for real serious. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm glad to be here, and I want to share and pour into your listeners today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Listen, you guys, what we're going to start out with is stepping into freedom. This question for you, Ms. Washington, is basically you retired from the state government. I mentioned that 10 years earlier, which is a bold and rare move. Look at her, you guys. I told you that she looks like she's 25, right? But what gave you the courage to walk away? And then more importantly, what did this transition teach you about creating your own path?
Well, honestly, Janae, when I first started this opportunity, I wasn't looking to walk away. I was only looking to make extra income because I work for state government. And for those of you guys who know, you get paid on the 15th and the end of the month, every single month. And I'm going to tell you, every month I was broke on the 16th and the 1st. My paycheck was already spent before I even made a, right? How many of y'all know about that? But here's the thing, somebody showed me an opportunity. And I said, wait a minute, I just want to make an extra 2,000. And they said, are we talking 2,000 a week? And I'm thinking, I didn't even know people made $2,000 a week. No, I'm talking about 2,000 a month. He said, you know what? That's $500. We can do that easily. So luckily we had the right comp plan. I looked at the compensation plan and I tried to figure out how can I make an extra $500 every single week. And I'm telling you, because of the compensation plan, I was able to do that. So Janae, I started working my business part-time and I looked up, I was making an extra $500 a week, which equates to $2,000 a month. But then I said, wait a minute, if I did 2,000 a month, I can do 4,000 a month. All I have to do is double my efforts. So I went from 2,000 a month to 4,000 a month. That was $1,000 extra a week. And honestly, I was good with that, right? Because that was an extra 4 grand. But guess what? The team kept growing. And I looked up, I started making $6,000 a month. Then it was $8,000 a month. Then it was $10,000 a month. And by the time you get to $10,000 a month, it's like, okay, it doesn't even make sense to keep working a full-time job. So I was able to retire. Luckily, I was able to go ahead and put in an early retirement, which allowed me to retire 10 years earlier than expected. So it gave me 10 years back of my life. So that's why I'm excited. That's why, and now I'm helping other people do the exact same thing. So that's how that transitioned.
Wow. Listen, you guys, have you ever heard a story where someone set benchmark goals? They had a goal and then they had these benchmark goals. Did y'all hear every time she hit a benchmark, she'd be like, huh, if I could do this, then I could do that. How many of us really pause and when we're going along our journey and we say those things? Normally, most people hit a goal and then they're good with it. But I'm reading a good book. Let me show you guys this good book right here. This is 10 Distinctions Between a Millionaire and the Middle Class. And that's Kurt Cameron Smith. And we had the opportunity just recently at our convention to hear him speak directly to us. But one of the things in that book talks about, when you have a millionaire mindset, millionaires, they may have money, but they still want to what? Get more money. Miss Washington was like, listen, I hit this benchmark. I can do this again on a full-time basis. Then I know I can do this in each time to the point where she said, well, I'm making $10,000. It just don't make sense for me to keep working. So let me get this back to you. So I love this. So I want you guys to make sure you really put that in your notes, jot it down, put it on something, we're at the season right now. We're doing vision boards, right? Put that on your vision board, your milestones to get to what your final number in your head is for your goal for 2026. All right, let's keep this moving.
Let me just jump in and say that book, Keith Cameron Smith, right? That book actually changed my life, and that was a staple for me as well, because he talked about the difference between the rich, the middle class, the poor, the very poor, right? The very rich and the wealthy. So when I started reading that book, I was like, wow, I'm in the poor, right? The middle class. And so now we see where the world is coming, where you either have or have not. You're either rich or you're poor. Like they're getting rid of the middle class. So that book is actually a great book to read. And I'm going to tell you, that was one of the staples that helped shift my mindset and to help get me where I'm going. So that Keith Cameron Smith book, that is the truth.
You guys know I'll be preaching about that book. So now y'all hear it from someone else other than me. I told y'all it was the truth, and it's a short read. So, this is something you can put in a stocking stuffer. If you want to give someone a great gift that's going to help them in 2026, put that book in their stocking stuffer. It would change their life, just like Miss Washington said, it would change their life. So now we're going to talk about building wealth with intention, because that's what we kind of segue into, understanding you got your vision board, getting ready to go. And we already talked about her milestones. So you being a 6-figure income earner who saved what? 6 figures, not only made 6 figures, but saved 6 figures. And I told y'all, discipline, that's her name, Melodie Washington, right? So what disciplines or financial principles help you achieve that level of stability and independence.
Well, that really writing down your goals, write the vision and make it plain. So when you're talking about saving six, so it's one thing to make six figures. And actually, the founder of the company, who is my mentor, Mr. Bradley, he actually said, "Okay, you've made six figures, but now what about saving six figures?" So he said, "We're gonna have people to make the six figures, but we're gonna also have a six-figure saving plan, right?" And I said, "Okay, I like that." And so I said, "I want to be one of the first." Right, to be able to get into that six-figure savings plans, right? So we just made a decision. So we realized that $8,333 every single month. If you do that for 12 months, Janae, that's $100,000. So I told him, I said, "Okay, I'm going to do this." It's the discipline. So I knew, and graciously, because of our compensation plan, you can actually make as much money as you want to. So I knew if I'm going to be saving six figures, that means I got to make way more than that. So I just decided that every month, just like I was putting aside that $2,000, the $4,000, the $6,000, I said, "Okay, I'm going to do $8,333 every single month. I'm going to put it to the side." And for accountability, because I'm going to tell you, if you're not accountable, if you don't have the accountability, then it's easy for you not to do. So I told the founder of the company, I said, "I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to get a separate bank account, and I'm going to put it to the side. And every month when I put it to the side, I'm going to take a picture of it and I'm going to send it to you." That was the accounting. Now, he didn't ask me to do that. He did, but that's because of the accountability, right? So it's one thing for you to be able to, say you're going to do it, but I wanted accountability because I didn't want, oh, one month I put in 5,000, the next month I do 4,000 and then catch up. No, I want it consistently. And Janae, that's one of the key too, is consistency, right? Small steps, a little bit at a time takes it a long way. So by the time I got to that 12th month and I put away that $8,333, when I looked at it, it was $100,000 that was saved plus interest that was saved, in a 12-month calendar period. So I turned right around this year and said, "Okay, if I did it that year, I can do it again." So now it's become a habit. You do something, right? Your habit, it becomes a habit. And then now it's a lifestyle.
Woo, you guys. I hope you got them nuggets, drop them gems, because I got my pen and I got my paper over here. I'm writing down and I'm attempting to give you guys those key points. $8,333 a month. That's saved on my phone as my screensaver, you guys. Like, I always tell people, you want to find that person you want to model. You want to duplicate exactly what it is that they're doing. This is my model. This is what I'm duplicating. This is what I have on my screen, $8,333. Discipline, consistency, those key factors. I don't have to figure it out for myself, And here's the key thing is, when you don't have to figure it out by yourself, it takes you half the time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's telling us right now, these great nuggets. Like, she's saying, listen, it wasn't just, my discipline. It had to be consistency. I started out with this much money a month. Then I went to this level, again, milestones, until she got to that ultimate 8,000. And no one had to tell her that. She just understood the assignment. And now she's teaching us what that looks like. Right. So thank you so much, Miss Melodie Washington, for being that example. And thank you so much, Mr. Donald Bradley, for coaching and mentoring her and setting the mold. So it's a repeat thing. Understand that she has a coach and mentor who taught her. And now she's teaching us. It's duplication that makes this process so much worth it. So we're going to go into as she being that 3-star founding director, as I explained to you earlier. She's that pioneer, right? She's been trailblazing from the beginning. She just didn't start. This is not overnight. So what I want to ask her is, what leadership values have guided you to your rise, and how do you continue to inspire the people you lead, like myself?
The first thing is, you got to always remember, it's the people over profits. It's the people first, right? It's always the people. And so a lot of times that's a lot of times where people kind of struggle with, because people want their own money. People have their own stuff. Life is life be lifing, right? But you have to understand that it's the people before profits. And one of the things that I've learned is that if you help enough people get what they want, then by default, you're going to get what you want. So over here, all we're doing is helping. The more people that we help, and a lot of hands make a heavy load light. right? You don't need a lot of people. You just need the right people. And guess what? They're going to lead you to a lot of people. So when you go out and you really genuinely care for people, you have to have a care for people. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, Janae. I didn't always have that care for people like that. That was something that was learned over time. Over time, I began to soften my heart and really want to help other people. When I saw that people were struggling, people were, and I had a coach that kind of pulled me out of that. I said, man, I owe it to other people when I see it. And those that really want it, I owe it to them to help pull them out. Why should I gatekeep what I'm learning, the information that I'm getting that can help somebody else? So when you talk about leadership, you're talking about putting people over profits, and you're talking about helping those who want to be helped. The great thing about this, Janae, is that the founder of the company has set a table. There is a table that we can eat as much as we want. And when I ain't talking about food either, I'm talking about money. We can get as much as we want. But here's the deal. We can bring our families. We can bring as many people to the table, and they too can eat as much as they want, and they can bring as many people. So when you have a table that's set and it's everybody have access to it, we're not gatekeeping, we're not turning anybody away, then everybody can eat and they can feed their family forever. So that's the key to that.
Ooh, boy, you guys, we at the table. Listen, she said, you guys pull up a chair basically. Y'all read between the lines. Pull up your chair so that you can get fed like everybody else. Watch your elbows now, but it's enough room at the table for everybody to get fed. All you got to do is take the initiative and bring your chair to the table, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's no crumbs. There are no crumbs at the table.
I love it. None. Everybody taking it all up, take it all up. So now with that being said, many people feel stuck really pretty much in traditional careers. Like, we're not bashing 9 to 5. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But I'm going to put out the real feelings that I've read in books and everything like that. This is the feeling. But you reinvented yourself, successfully working for a state government. You didn't do the 40-year 40 plan. No, you upgraded and you speeded that up, right? So what advice would you give to someone who wants more but is afraid to start over? Because you're a proud grandmother of two baby boys, like handsome, like, right? So in this role, you have other roles in your life. Like, I don't want you guys to think she's single, ready to mingle. No, listen. She is that mom. She is that G mom. She has a family. So, we mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, we're something to everybody. But now she has chosen not only having a full-time job, and I told her, what made her step away, but now for you guys who are feeling like you're stuck in a traditional 9 to 5, she is showing you that you can reinvent yourself. So what would that advice be to them?
So one of the words that you used was stuck. And so I want to tell you that you only get stuck when you're not moving. You stuck when you don't move. Because as long as you're moving, it's hard to get stuck. I want you to think about somebody that may get stuck in the snow, or if you get stuck in the deck, right? If you stay there, then yeah, you stuck. And guess what? The longer you stay there, the more you're going to sink. But if you continue to move, right? You continue to move. You could go forth, go backwards, go side, do something. If you do it long enough, you're going to eventually get out of that snow, get out of that dirt. And so a lot of times, Janae, when people are stuck, they stand still, right? And so I do a training on, are you standing still or are you still standing? Because at the end of the day, you got to be moving. You can't just be standing still. You got to be moving at the end. And so a lot of times people are just on those jobs that they hate. They spend 40 hours a week for 40 years. And then, believe it or not, don't even have $40 in the bank, right? And so now we're saying, okay, there's another opportunity. You can at least look at it, try it out. Everybody loves to travel. Everybody loves making money. Everybody loves having fun. Why wouldn't you do something different? Especially if you don't like where you are, or maybe you enjoy what you do. They're just not paying you what you're worth. Well, here's the deal that we know, that if you're not getting residual income, you're already behind. You're already behind. And so we always talk about how we have the residual outcome, right? Well, we have to pay off these bills and pay this mortgage and pay all of this. But if you don't have the residual income to keep up with it, you're already behind, because this is where it's going. This is where we're going to. So for those people that are out there that are working, right, and you have to work that job with integrity. Let's be clear, right? But when you off of work, when you get off, a lot of people say, "Oh, okay, I work a 9 to 5." The reality is, Janae, no, you get up at 6 in the morning, getting ready. You may
Mm-hmm.
get to work at 9, but trust me,
Mm-hmm.
you've gotten up way before then. And then
Mm-hmm.
even though you get off at 5, you fighting through the traffic. Then when you get home, so your day is really not that. So
Mm-hmm.
now, what are you doing during those other hours? See, sometimes you have to give more. You got to give up something in order to get something. There were times where I did not go to bed at night. Right, I had to, right, get up, go to bed late or get up early, sacrifice some sleep, sacrifice some things that I enjoy doing, sacrifice TV, sacrifice those things so that I can get the results. Sacrifice that, and so now that because of the sacrifices, now you have the ability to be able to do it.
Ooh, you got to get up and do something, y'all. You got to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until you get unstuck. Look, because if you're stuck, that means you're not moving. So she said you ain't even got to move a lot. If you could just do a little something to get up out of that, you're still in motion. So you can't be stuck. Oh my gosh, absolutely love that. Love that. So like, listen, I told you guys she's a grandmother, right? And we're talking about, the purpose is, if you hadn't caught on already, is helping others do the exact same thing. We talked about the duplication and what that looks like, but family purpose and impact is what this organization, what our company, and everything what we do is all about. She is modeling that. The reason why she's modeling it, because her coach models it. I tell you, I get to see her coach, then I get to see her, and then I tell you, hey, my copyright cat, I get to do the exact same thing. It's a domino effect of positive people in your circle. We talk about circles a lot. And they say if you look around your circle, your income will be the average of what to your left and the right, right? So if you don't like the left and the right of your circle, and you wouldn't want to exchange bank accounts with said circle, then you might want to change your circle. My circle, I'm not going to even I'm not even popping my collar. Like, I'm not boasting, but I'm just being honest. I got a lit circle, y'all. She's one of them in my circle. And it's because of these individuals is why I continue to grow and why I continue to learn and do more and more each and every day, because you're never done learning. But Miss Melodie Washington, how does your role as a grandmother influence the legacy you're building and the way you show up in your business?
Ooh, Janae, and you said that too, because my grandbabies, they are my why. Two grandboys, 5 and 10 at the time of this recording, right? So they're 5 and 10. And I'm going to tell you, so I actually had one son. So one child, my son, he was my heart. He and I was working this business together, building a legacy for his boys, which is now my grandbabies. But he passed away. He passed away 3 years ago. He was hit when he was riding his motorcycle. He was hit by a drunk driver and passed away. And that was 3 years ago. But my boys, the boys, I said, I want to continue. I kept hearing him say, no, I need you to continue what we started. So the boys became my why. I started working this business even more so because of them. But let me tell you what's more impressive. There is a legacy piece that's attached to our business. So I want to make sure that you get with Janae so you can find out about this. And what this says is that once you become a director in our company, that means you've helped over 100 families. We really want you to feel secure in knowing that in the event of your death, this business will really outlast you. So your family will still receive all of the income. It's going to be willable to whomever you deem as your next heir. So here's the deal. When I lost my son, because he was listed as my beneficiary, but the and because there was so much going on and I was so in distraught, they actually called me. The company actually called me and they said, Melodie, we do not want you to drop the ball. We understand that you just had a really, really terrible loss, right? Our condolences are to you, but we need you to name someone else because we don't want you to drop the ball. We don't want something to happen to you and it's just out there. That's love. Let's start there. Because my state government, they didn't call me saying, hey, where you want your money to go? No, as a matter of fact, they were hoping I didn't reach out to them so that money can just go back, right? But this company called me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put this legacy to my boys, to my grandbabies' trust.
Mhm.
So now the trust is the beneficiary of their legacy. And so also now I'm making sure that I'm putting them so far from the poverty line that they don't know. Now they're going to have great work ethic because they're going to get that from grandma, but I'm teaching them how you guys, I want you guys to start. I want to give you a head start, if
Mhm.
you will. So I'm loving this. I got $1 million life insurance policy on them. And guess what? In my will, they got to get $1 million life insurance policy too. So guess what? When I pass away, the $1 million automatically goes back to the trust and replenish the trust. When they pass away, the $1 million automatically go back to the trust. And guess what? It's replenishing for our great, 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 great grandchildren, whom I won't even be around to see. That's the legacy. And we're able to do that because of this vehicle that we have. So that's family, that's purpose, and that's the impact that we have on this business.
It all comes down to the key word here, legacy. Listen, our purpose, our drive, our everything to help not only our families, but to help your families is to be able to leave something, not for your children, but your children's children, and to continue that on. Don't y'all want to go into the house and or be from, looking above and saying, oh, that's my grandma on that portrait. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When we go into these businesses, we see that portrait, that be the original founder of the family. Won't you like your family members to do the same thing? I know I would. Hashtag goals, right? And she got me with this $1 million policy. I was like, oh, I thought I was doing something with her. It's time to up my game. You never know until you have conversations like this with other people who at another level. They make you stretch yourself, you guys. So listen, I'm going to give these closing comments to Miss Melodie Washington. This interview was so lit and amazing. I hope you got something out of it. Again, this information is free. Everything is free. All we ask you to do is to pay it forward to someone else that you may know, because you're getting the benefit of hearing it. And it may or may not apply to you. It might not even be a good fit for you. However, pay it forward to someone else. Let them take a listen to it. Let them think like, man, I want to be serious about what I'm doing in life. I want to be like these boss ladies right here on this interview panel, as every week we're bringing on new individuals to share with you, to let you know if they can do it, we can do it, right? It's that process of going out to say, you may see them now, but that's not how they started out.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to hear from what it took to get there. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. So Miss Melodie Washington, close us out, please.
Oh my goodness. And Janae, again, I want to thank you. This is an amazing platform. I know a lot of lives will be changed as a result of you. So I want to thank you for being a staple and a pillar in the industry. And just, I see the she series, changing lives. And not only the women, you got some men that's sneaking in here listening to as well. But the reality is, y'all, it's time for us to stop being poor. POOR is simply passing over opportunities repeatedly. We said now it's time for us to get rich, right? Don't let 2026 be a repeat of 2025. It's time for us to start making changes and making them right now. And rich, RICH, is simply realizing it can happen. And of course, Janae and I know that rich means residual income creates happiness. So, guys, I want to just thank you guys so much. I want to encourage you to really get back with her. Ask her, what is it? Man, I want to know more about this. And guys, I'm telling you, and you don't have to be great in order to get started, but you do have to get started if you plan on being great at all. So I want to encourage you guys, get started so that you too can be great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really love, and I had an amazing time with you.
Thank you so much. We love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do but simply love us back. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.